Welcome back to the Wholesome Orator. I'm Javon,
I'm Keisha.
and today we want to talk about cookouts and etiquette and that kind of thing. So Keisha, when you go to a cookout, like let's say two different situations, one might be a friend or coworker or something, somebody fairly close. Other situations like you go into your parents' house or something like that. For like a friend, do you bring anything? Like, how do you do that?
Customarily, I do. If it's a friend, I usually ask first if there's anything they need. Usually, most times, friends usually end up saying, "No, just bring yourself." But I always take it upon myself to bring something, even if it's just if it's a bottle of wine or something, just not to come empty-handed. So, in that instance, the first thing I would say is, for me, never go empty-handed, even if they tell you they don't necessarily need anything, just because.
Okay, that brings me to another question though. Like, so it's the cool thing or the polite thing to say, "Nah, I don't want. Nah, just bring yourself, or just come and have a good time, whatever." Um, is that even? Let's say I'm the friend. If I said, hey, "Yeah, bring some ice, bring dessert or whatever," like, is that a? Do you see that as being tacky or anything?
Well, for me, it just depends on the relationship with the person that has invited me to the cookout. If it's a family member or a close friend, I feel that it's appropriate for them to ask, "Hey, can you bring some ice, some cups, or whatever the case may be?" Because you're entertaining family. If it's just like a coworker and they've invited me to a cookout, um, I would feel some type of way if you tell me, "Hey, can you bring some ice, or soda, or whatever the case may be." I might feel some type of way about that. But
But
yeah.
why? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
you have a situation where it's like, okay, customarily I'll ask, do you want me to bring something?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then also the flip side of that is if somebody says, "Hey, come to my cookout," just bring something. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter what it is. Um, but then that kind of rubs you the wrong way. Like,
Just a
but
little
why?
bit. I don't know. I just feel like, if it's like I said, if it's an acquaintance or something, and you know, I don't really talk to. I don't know. It's a weird thing for me. Yeah, I just wouldn't. If I've invited somebody and if we're just acquaintances, or whatever the case may be, or we're coworkers, and I invite you to my home, I'm not going to say, "Oh, by the way, can you bring such and such? Can you bring a bucket of chicken?" Um, that's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just a quirk, and it's a double standard. That's just you know my thought on that. But like I said, yeah, even still, in both situations, I would still ask if you need anything. Um, and even in the situation of an acquaintance, I would still not come empty handed anyway. Like I said, if it's just something like a bottle of wine or sparkling um, grape juice or something, and just like a wine bag or something, just to show my etiquette. Because in both situations, you have invited me into your home, and for the most part, you are footing the bill for um, the cookout or whatever, dinner party or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
yeah. So for the most part, I never go empty handed anywhere anyway, if I'm invited to a party or a cookout or whatever the case may be. So
Okay, so I got another question or something to bring up is sometimes people um, want you to bring brand name this or brand name that. Um, I'm just not really that guy. Like, if I'm bringing, let's say it's diet sodas or something like that, then like, yeah, that's gonna be name brand, and I would do that just because I know generally when you show up to somebody's cookout, hardly anybody ever does diet things. I don't know whether it's just not in their mind or they don't think many people drink like Coke Zeros and Diet Pepsis and stuff like that. But I think some people have high blood sugar levels. Some.
So you're asking about bringing diet children. Soda or?
No, I'm getting around that.
Okay.
So I do that. I also tend to bring water a lot because I feel like that's something that be used regardless. I mean, you can use that afterwards. You take it to your children's soccer games. You can take it to work if you don't drink water, that kind of thing. But I'll bring like the fruit punch, the fruit punch soda and the grape soda.
You're talking about the cheap stuff.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
The cheap stuff.
Okay.
And as much as people laugh about it, that always gets gone.
True.
You know, I mean, because it's not a cola or any kind of specialty drink, and it's inexpensive, yes, it'll go flat, but you're using it within the first couple of hours to open it, so that's not going to matter.
Yeah.
But I think those fruity flavors and stuff, it gets gone.
So you're asking?
Yeah, like
is it okay to bring an off-brand?
If somebody brings you an off-brand grape soda, but they were thoughtful enough to bring something, would you look at them sideways, or like would you appreciate that? Like, is that offensive to you?
I think it's, and I think when it's your family, there's two things. If it's your family, and it depends on what type of, like I said, if it's just a cookout, I might still give you a little side eye, just because, you know your family, and some people are just going to be cheap regardless.
But I'm bringing something, and
you're bringing something,
and I'm not leaving with 5 plates either.
Okay, so you're not okay. So, I mean, I wouldn't do it. I guess I'm just bougie with some things, and that's just who I am. But no, I guess I don't think in the end, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, because you don't know people's budgets and things of that nature. But the caveat is, if it's a family function, like I said, your family, and some of your family members they're just going to be cheap.
But
you're bringing something, but
like,
you're being cheap.
Let's say it's 15 people. We're talking about a small gathering. It's 15 people.
I think you can afford to
and because it's not it.
If it's a small gathering, I mean, that's fine. I think you can. If it's 15 people,
who's not going to drink it and who will drink it. And if it's any children, then half of it's gone already.
If it's 15 people or less, I think you can afford to get the name brand, depending on what it is. If you're bringing something like a cola, please just bring Coke.
Oh well, yeah, yeah. I'm not talking about that.
I mean, everybody does drink the off-brand fruit punch. I mean, that tastes good to me. Of course, it goes flat.
Because I look at it like this as well. I think somebody else is going to bring something else as well. Somebody's going to bring Sprite.
This is true.
Somebody's going to bring Coke.
This is true, but then at the on the same token, like I said, it just depends on I think it depends on the situation sometimes, but that's just me. Like I said, if I'm going to a small gathering, I'm probably not going to bring off-brand nothing.
Oh, okay.
But I guess I shouldn't side-eye you because like I said, I don't know your budget. So.
Okay. I was talking today, actually, about different things of like what people can bring and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that was brought up was to go plates, like the shells. You know,
to
that,
somebody else's
that
function.
Or that and like foil and stuff like that. Now I understand like you might feel a certain kind of way, but but the basis of the person saying that was also the fact that that's something that gets used. Like that's something that all cookouts have, or they run out. Like I've been to plenty of cookouts where it's like people are taking food home and there's no foil to be found.
So your premise is not, oh, I'm going to bring this foil because I'm expecting to take a plate home. You're bringing it because at some point.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay.
Right. Not
okay.
I'm gonna take a whole bunch of.
Well, that's thoughtful. You know, yeah, and stuff needs to get packed away or whatever. That's thoughtful. Tupperware, and disposable Tupperware. So that's.
I didn't think about that. Disposable.
Yeah.
Tupperware.
Yeah, I wouldn't
that would be all right.
Use real Tupperware if I'm just bringing it for the purpose of, you might need to store some things. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
What are some since we got into things that are unacceptable to you? What are some other things?
Well, on the other note of that, don't bring Tupperware. Well, okay, don't bring Tupperware and or aluminum foil. Well, don't bring Tupperware or to-go plate, expecting that you're going to take some food home that someone else has paid for a party. Like that's just poor etiquette. I think it is poor etiquette. Like you just don't assume that you're gonna be able to take something home. Or, I mean, our families, you get to a cookout and the first thing you do is making to-go plates before you eat, and everybody else is eating.
Whose family? Yeah.
Anyway,
you're talking about families in general.
Families in general, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, don't ever do that. Other things, something slipped my mind that I was gonna say, but yeah, definitely don't make a plate. Always ask, and if you're gonna make a plate, please ask the host or hostess first. Just don't go in the kitchen and start making plates and packing up stuff. And yeah, don't do that.
I've seen that done a couple.
I've seen it done a couple times as well, and recently.
I mean, like early.
It's just like as soon as you get there, you're making plates and setting them to the side. Yeah. Like, no, other people haven't eaten yet. We just started eating, and you're making to-go plates already. And yeah, that's not good etiquette at all. Yeah.
What time do you show up to any kind of cookout?
I might show up 30 minutes late. I'm the person that I don't like getting anywhere late. I always like being on time. I think it's bad etiquette to show up early. Like if something's at 4 and you show up at 3:30 or 3 o'clock, you don't know what that hostess has going on, and they might not be finished setting up everything. And so and then if you show up and then they feel obligated to try to entertain you before everything is set up. So yeah, definitely try not to show up early. Yeah, I think 30 minutes for me. I'm just kind of a stickler for time, so.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I don't like wasting time and stuff like that. I don't like.
I think being a little fashionably late is okay.
And I do it, and I would do it, and not because I'm trying to get out of anything, but like just I don't know. I just value my time, and especially if it's family. If you show up on time or you show up too early, then there are things that they need help with, or they want you to help with,
right.
And then depending on I guess who's throwing it, the crowd may come 45 minutes late, or the crowd might come 2 hours late, and if it's 2 hours late, obviously everybody knows that it's kind of just not an on time thing, and that you're part of the get it started crew. And I don't mind, like, if I know in advance that you're gonna need help setting up, okay, that's one thing. Cause in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be here 4 hours, and I won't clean up if I set up, but yeah.
Yeah, that's all
What
I
else?
have. And I guess it's not really an etiquette thing. When things are winding down, you can always ask, if they need help cleaning up or anything. It's something as simple as taking out the trash.
Oh yeah.
Or, picking up your cups and stuff and putting them in the trash. But, yeah. But that's all I have. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably do that more often. Especially if it's like plates and cups. I'm just like, boom, 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 boom. I mean, you can throw that away in a second. And just kind of get it out of the way. All right, so that's it. Our plan is to do some videos and lives very, very frequently, just to kind of get things back going. We moved from one studio to the next. Now, we moved some stuff around and stuff, and set up differently. So the audio might sound different.
Trying some new things.
Yeah. All right. So I'll see you next time. And subscribe and like. If you want to help me get to 100,000 in 5 years or less, let's do that.
5 years.
I mean, you gotta see how the momentum goes.
Okay.
That can change. It's like business. Yeah. Every quarter you change projections.
All right.
You want to say a year? That means
2, 3.
2 years.
Let's say 2, 3.
100,000 in 2 years. That's not necessarily 50,000 because it's calculus. But yeah. All right. So we'll see you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.